This is Rating Descending.
where we watch IMDb's worst 250 movies so you do not have to.
I'm Michelle St. Clair.
I'm Abigail Ward.
And this week we watch The Cat in the Hat. Two bored children have their lives turned upside down when a talking cat comes to visit them. Let's watch.
That's a good fucking logline.
That's a good tagline. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fake. Fake. We're in the goofy zone, but we've got nowhere to go.
No.
Oh, shit. I burped.
Well, here's something. I educated Michelle on something tonight, and I want listeners to know about this too. I said to Michelle that I'm feeling a bit dizzy and that I need to reset my ear crystals. And she looked at me like I was mad. But I was not the woman who was mad, for she was the woman that was ignorant to the ear crystals.
Crystals of the ear.
Here's the thing. You have like a weird pouch of gelatin in your ear and you've got crystals
Just me, right?
in it. Just Michelle.
Yeah.
You got a weird pouch of gelatin in there and you got a bunch of crystals.
For a snack.
But I showed her what I do to reset them. And I actually don't think I have crystals out of place because I'm not like fucking 60. I don't think I have a history of vertigo. I think I'm just a bit tired.
I don't know why when you demonstrated, which was mostly just lying down and rotating your head, you did it with such an open stare.
Yeah, think of like a doll coming to life and staring deep into your soul and turning her head, twisting it from side to side. That's kind of what it looks like when you're trying to reset ear crystals.
That's what Abby did to convince me of ear crystals. But you know what? I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 16, so I am in crystal mood.
The funniest thing is that when you look up ear crystals, every semi-medical article about it, like any of those like pages that actually gives you a bit of information about this, has specific statement saying this is real, this is not fake. Like despite the name, these exist. Like there was a disclaimer at the top and the bottom of a page saying like these are not made up.
Yeah, like I believe it in the way that there's like, you know, like salt is a crystal, like not in the way that like quartz or fucking sapphires are a crystal.
Salt, but you don't believe in
I don't believe in sapphires. They're not real. Sorry, liberals. Yeah. I'm underwhelmed. It's only
Conservatives will hate this. It's just photos of crystals. Yeah.
You triggered yet? And it's me showing a picture of a ruby? Never seen one. Not a real crystal. Just red glass. Every time. Now salt. That's a crystal.
Now that's a crystal.
You know how you can tell? The nummy taste.
Yum, yum, yum.
When I try and eat a ruby, it's terrible.
I still think about, and you've told this story in the podcast, the 20 kilos of pink Himalayan rock salt and how it actually like came to support and help you.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so touching. I didn't realize that was the end of your bag of salt story, and it's actually so beautiful. Listeners, if you want to hear the bag of salt story, go find it. It's somewhere.
It's somewhere. I think it was actually kind of recent that I told the story.
Yeah, it was like 7 episodes ago, maybe.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's my, that'll be my like award-winning short story. That's how I break through, is telling the...
But here's what you didn't know.
What?
That 20-kilo bag of rock salt
went straight in my ear.
No.
Oh.
Where do you think it came from?
Pakistan.
No.
The ear?
I spent 3 years bending over that bag every day and shaking out my ear crystals for you. And that's why I'm so dizzy.
Oh my God.
It's so that you could have the rock salt for your pussy.
I put that in my food too, though.
Yeah, but did it taste good?
I put it in my pussy and that was fucking ear crystals.
Was it yummy?
That's so unhygienic.
That's why you feel so balanced right now.
So tasty, and I have never felt more centered.
You do want
because
some?
I have Abby's ear crystals
do you
in
want
my
some
Johnny
more?
Jew.
Would you like some?
Sometimes I'm like, do we need to put the explicit content warning on the episode? And I think we do.
What, because of Johnny Jew? Is that the straw that broke the camel's back?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know how Americans are with sex.
Is it because of Jew? Because I'm a quarty.
No, we established you're half.
I'm actually half.
You're actually half. You've been telling me for years that you're a quarter Jewish. And you're fully just half Jewish.
Still wrong about that.
Your dad's just Jewish.
Well, you want some more ear crystals? You just got to lick them out.
Okay.
Here's another disgusting look into my private life. I shared some last week and I want to share some again tonight.
You're still talking about the ear crystals, right?
Well, I'm talking about things getting sucked out of ears.
What the fuck?
Are you ready for this?
Where the fuck is this story going?
See, the thing is, Claude would never want me to tell the story, but he doesn't listen to the podcast, so he will never know.
I'm just letting you know though, I'm fully prepared to pivot at any moment. Straight into Cat in the Hat.
We'll listen to this, okay. And then you make your mind up.
Okay.
And if there's any like content warning you want to put in the episode, it's probably for this story.
Yeah, put one
it's
right at the front.
Fucking disgusting.
At 5 minutes in, we talk about ears.
Claude's ears, actually, yeah, Claude's weird ears. Oh my god, Claude's ears.
You got this. You come on.
Are really waxy. Like they just generate a lot of wax.
Sure.
More than they should. Like, you know when you put a Q-tip in and you think you'll get a lot out, but you really don't. It's just like a kind of little bit. But it looks satisfying, but you wish there was more.
Does he need grommets? My sister needed grommets because she produced a lot of earwax as a kid.
Put like a fucking like Q-tip in and it will be like covered in wax.
Wow, that's a lot of wax.
So what happens is that
this week we...
listen to this. When he and Cassie have a cuddle.
Oh, don't.
She kept being...
This week... we watched...
No, let me finish the story. She kept getting lured towards his ear from the smell of his salty wax.
Oh, no.
And eventually she started sticking her tongue down his ear and they both enjoy it as an activity.
Oh, fuck off.
This week,
This week,
she cleans
we
his
watched
ear and she gets a little snack. So it's a win-win.
This week, we watched The Cat in the Hat.
The Cat in the Ear.
No, The Cat in the Hat. Wow, I saw this movie a lot as a kid. We're just not fucking addressing it.
You can't cut it out, bitch.
I can't. I genuinely can't.
So I want you to think about Casserole licking Claude's earwax
this week,
out
we
of his
watched
ear.
The Cat in the Hat.
Like a little lollipop.
Beep. This week... we watched The Cat in the Hat. As we said at the end of the last episode, both of us have watched this a lot already.
I don't like that you're trying to sweep this whole earwax thing under the rug, but whatever.
It's my fucking episode. That's when I get to do that.
We did watch Cat in the Hat this week, and let me tell you, this really was one of my absolute favorite films.
This movie actually has like a little bit of backstory with us and the podcast, because... in the old, we've talked about the proto version of the podcast, you could argue, is the old Let's Watch Bad Movies event that we used to host. One of them was, I always like, the theme is Mike Myers. We did The Cat in the Hat and The Love Guru.
And The Love Guru's on the list.
It will come back to us in like a couple months.
Yeah.
But The Cat in the Hat, when I pitched it, you got really upset at me because you were like, that's a good movie. And it turned into this like... not quite escalating into genuine argument, but just under that.
Yeah, we were close.
we were
close.
Really genuinely kind of a little annoyed at each other.
It was insulting because this is my thing about this film. I could never say a bad word against it because I was so entranced by it when I was like 10 or 12. Mm-hmm. However, I would have been 11 actually. If I was obsessed with it in year 7, I would have been 11 years old. I was so deeply entranced by this film, and it's because... of the bizarre world that they CGI'd into it. Just the strangeness of it. It doesn't feel like...
like in the third act, you mean?
Yeah, it feels like a badly done Edward Scissorhands. You know how in Edward Scissorhands there's this perfect, like, 1950s suburbia of colourful houses and perfectly groomed gardens, and it's almost like this never-ending, like, flat Californian streets. It's like, what if they took that and they just, like, threw acid all over it and then shoved it into, like, a horribly rendered CGI film? That is Cat in the Hat. And it's got Alec Baldwin and Mike Myers performing his fucking heart out, and a young Dakota Fanning and a young Spencer Breslin who fucking dated like Grace Tame. I think I've told you that on this podcast before. It's just full of fantastic performers, fantastic one-liners.
I think they married.
They married.
That's Grace Tame's husband, I think.
But they divorced.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. It's weird that like the Grace Tame, Spencer Breslin worlds collided into marriage.
That's such a strange way. They later divorced at an unknown date, but they married in 2017.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You bitch.
Sorry,
Don't
guys.
fucking lie to me.
Sorry.
Don't fucking lie to me.
You know what I wasn't lying about? Cassie eating little bits of wax.
Okay, so let's get into the key details. All right, so this movie came out in 2003.
Yeah.
Right? Which actually means you would have been 8 when it came out.
Yeah, but I think I was watching the shit out of it. I think I watched it when it came out, but I think I really, for some reason, watched it again
on
and again.
DVD over and over and over. Yeah, I mean, same. It's funny that you mention Edward Scissorhands, by the way, because this movie was directed by Bo Welch, who was mostly a production designer.
Fuck off.
Including for Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice and Ghostbusters 2, actually.
And
the Birdcage.
So smart. I am so intelligent. Everything I do is based on gut feeling, and I'm always dead on. You know that show Medium?
Yeah.
That's about me.
Because you're a little mid?
Hey. You think I'm mid?
No, not really. Hey. Baby.
Sweet baby girl.
Sweet baby girl. The writers of this is the thing that probably fucked me up the most of anything, was the writing trio of Alec Berg, David Mandel.
Alec Berg? Sorry, hang on.
No. Alec Berg, David Mandel, and Jeff Schaffer, all known for, as a trio, writing on the later years of Seinfeld, including executive producing it, as well as Curb, and then, of course, Alec Berg, creator of Silicon Valley and co-creator of Barry, David Mandel, one of the main creators of Veep, and Jeff Schaffer, who made The League, which I haven't watched. I don't care as much about.
So that's like he's like the Michelle of Destiny's Child, that guy.
Sure. Yeah. Or the Michelle of Rating Descending.
That's crazy. Alec Berg. Literally,
Berg
I've been I've been watching fucking Silicon Valley and Barry recently. I'm going through all of his shit.
He's literally one of my favorite. He's made some of my favorite TV shows. It's insane.
And he made Cat in the Hat. I love him even more.
The Cat in the Hat.
Actually love him even more now.
He wrote The Cat in the Hat.
There's just this magical element to Cat in the Hat. You know, like the magical element to The Grinch with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Same thing. It's the same kind of movie.
Oh, with Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, well, also, remember how we were in a car ride and we played Celebrity Heads. I think we've mentioned this on the podcast before.
I think in the podcast we mentioned, but for newer listeners, Abby and I are really good at Celebrity Heads, both in terms of guessing, but more than anything at establishing a baseline of communication.
We are, and we know what the other person knows as references.
Yes, exactly.
So we're like a power team in that respect.
We're really good at playing the game, not really good at winning the game.
And you know who's shit at playing the game? Claude's shit at playing the game. I tried to play with him on our honeymoon, and it was like the most terrible round I've ever played with him.
Awful.
The guy that I had in my head was just John Krasinski. Easy.
Right. Yeah, it is pretty easy.
He was like, how would I know who that guy is? And I'm like, what? We literally just watched a film with him in it. I was like, famous actor, was in a film we just watched, The Quiet Place. He's married to a famous woman.
It's actually A Quiet Place.
Sorry. She was in the film that we just watched, and he was like, how could I ever guess this?
What?
Anyway, we were playing Celebrity Heads, and you were listing every detail that would have been was Mike Myers. I
was trying to get Mike Myers was the one, right?
And
now the way that we play it often when it's actors is it's kind of fun and easy to, like, if you focus in on a movie. So if an actor has many like big successes, you just like pick one and then you're focusing on that.
But there were so many elements. It wasn't even the movie that I zoned into. It was literally just so much about this actor. They're both Canadian. They're both brunettes.
Canadians who came up in the late 80s and early 90s on sketch comedy and then later went on to do wild physical alternative comedy.
The overlap is
specifically
wild.
In a Dr. Seuss.
I remember when I was like, Jim Carrey, you were like, oh my God, it's not it. I can't believe it's not it.
Yeah, it's like, that's insane because you're 100% correct, but no.
Anyway, same vibe. Magical vibe.
I get you.
I'm really passionate tonight because I love this movie.
Oh my God.
I'm so happy. Michelle, I'm so happy we're here.
You're so happy?
Because we're doing Cat in the Hat.
This
is a big moment for me.
I'm just glad you're happy.
I'm just glad I got to watch Cat in the Hat again.
Well, it was starring, because we're still there in the key details, starring Mike Myers, Spencer Breslin, Dakota Fanning, Alec Baldwin, and Kelly Preston, who... I feel like when I see Kelly Preston, this is not a knock to Kelly Preston, but I'm like, this role feels like it was written for Sarah Jessica Parker.
Really?
In 2003, the specific kind of outfit and hairstyle they put her in.
Wow. Okay, so Kelly Preston's dead, so think about that.
Lots of people are dead.
You fucking evil bitch. But she's dead.
Lots of people are
dead.
dead.
And her son died. Okay, and she had to be married to John Travolta.
Oh, so that is sad. I'm
think
so
about
sorry.
What you're saying.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it.
You take it back.
I also, as I said, wasn't trying to knock Kelly Preston
That's
at all.
fucked up.
The budget for this,
I reckon it was high.
What do you think it was?
Oh, I mean, it had so much
2003
CGI.
though. 2003.
It had so much CGI. It had Mike Myers, and it was like the real peak of Mike Myers.
Yeah, this was peak Mike Myers. He was peaking everywhere.
25 million.
109 million.
Oh, so low.
You picked up quite a low amount when you kept saying hi.
I'm so stupid.
109. Which again, in 2003, like that's a fucking blockbuster. That's the equivalent of like 200 million now.
Let me guess again. 3 million.
109 million.
$3.
In the box office, it made 133
That's
million.
Shit. That's not good.
It's real. That's fucking
really
bomb.
It's like that is a good return, but they spent so much money making it.
Advertising and everything. That's a bomb.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
It's horrible when it's like, oh, it only made 130 million. Yeah. What a bomb.
Yeah, that is awful. The returning actors though, like our Rating Descending All Stars, Spencer Breslin, who was in Zoom and The Shaggy Dog, and this doesn't count as an official knock against him, but also the Santa Claus 3, all three of which are from 2006.
Dude, what a moment for him. Also, Dakota Fanning was in Twilight.
Dakota Fanning was in Twilight New Moon. Sean Hayes was in Cats and Dogs, The Revenge of Kitty Galore. Yeah. Dan Castellaneta, who voiced Thing 1 and 2 in this, was in Fantastic Superhero Movie and Super Mario Bros. Mm-hmm. And Frank Welker, who did a lot of the dog voices and stuff, was in The Island of Dr. Moreau and Super Mario Bros.
Guys, go back and listen to the Island of Dr. Moreau episode, all right? You're going to want to hear it.
I was doing some of the setup for us to be able to have us on YouTube, and like I forgot Island of Dr. Moreau was so early. That's one of our best episodes.
Yeah, it really was.
That's great.
But it was just such a good movie.
It was a great movie. Yeah.
I was very lucky. I had a plethora of things to...
I mean, it was kind of boring to watch, but it was great. Actually, watching it was a little tedious.
But me talking about it was great.
Incredible.
Best bit.
Yeah. Way more entertaining.
Fantastic cast in this film.
Oh, yeah. Stacked cast. I don't know why Sean Hayes plays both the boss and the fish, though.
I don't know either. Were they cutting costs?
Well, it's just one of those things where it's like a Wizard of Oz sort of thing, but I don't understand.
You know, in every Cat in the Hat, the boss always plays the fish as well.
Why is the boss the fish?
It's for luck.
They don't feel that thematically connected.
No, they don't. At least in like Peter Pan, Hook and the dad have like a real overlap. That makes a lot of sense.
It totally tracks.
It's like this authoritarian figure.
Here's the full overview though. Conrad and Sally Walden, children of overworked real estate agent Joan, are left at home alone with strict instructions to not dirty the house before Joan's work party that evening. After hearing a bump upstairs, they find the Cat in the Hat, an anthropomorphic talking cat with a magic red and white hat, has appeared to teach them how to have fun. He dubs Conrad a chronic rule breaker and Sally a control freak and begins to help them loosen up. However, things begin to get out of hand, especially with the arrival of the cat's friends or co-workers
or slaves,
or let's go with friends.
You know, fuck, marry, kill. How about friends, co-workers, or slaves? I'll give you 3 celebrities.
We are too white to play this game. We cannot.
That's fair, actually. Let's move on. You're all right. Even I will concede.
That's the thing about this podcast. We make mistakes, but we own up.
I take full responsibility.
With the arrival of the cat's friends, Thing 1 and Thing 2,
even the names are dehumanizing.
They are. Well, that's actually addressed in the text of the movie, where Thing 2 doesn't want you to know that he is like inferior Thing.
Yeah, that's right. He has a complex around it. I love it.
Yeah.
It gives it depth.
Although we find out in the thing, like Thing 1 really does think of himself as superior, so I get why Thing 2 is sensitive.
I remember the things just being generally kind of evil, to be fair. Like they were doers of evil.
They're just like chaos.
Yeah.
They're not evil. They would be chaotic neutral. True.
I feel like
chaos.
they were chaotic. Yeah. Yeah. No.
They don't have ill will. They do goodwill when doing goodwill would create chaos.
You've really thought about this, and for that, I agree.
I think about the nature of chaos at every moment.
Every moment.
Every moment.
Every
right
moment
now,
you're pondering
what
it.
is the nature of chaos? That's what goes on in my head.
Yeah, it's because you've got ADHD.
Oh, fuck. You're fucking right. Damn it. But I need to stratify it because of the tism.
Because of the tism. The tism and the ADHDs.
Yeah, baby. They create a trail of destruction in the house, and in the process, the kid's dog, Nevins, escapes with the much-needed lock to the cat's dimensional crate on its collar. Hard to explain that because it's not really explained. The kids and cat chase the dog, as well as Lawrence Quinn, Joan's conniving new boyfriend, who we discover is pretending to be a successful businessman to marry her for money.
He's wearing a girdle, so you know he's evil.
Yeah,
because he's fatter than he seems.
He is both of the most evil things men could be in 2003: fat and
poor,
and poor. I was going to say and into his image.
Yeah.
Eventually managing to track them in the city. However, Larry leaves to alert Joan, and the kids race home to put everything back in order before they arrive. Joan is stalled by the things, but Larry catches up to them in the house where they realize it has been transformed by the open dimensional crate. Narrowly managing to navigate through the dimensional rift, their house is then immediately destroyed internally, leaving the kids despondent. However, the cat arrives with a machine that puts the house back together, dubbing the kids to have learned to chill out. And that's kind of it.
Good overview considering how fucking bizarre this film is to summarize.
Yeah, once I had to write dimensional crate, I was like, this movie's hard to explain.
Dimensional crate attached to the padlock on his collar.
Yeah, it's a tricky one to explain because I can't really be like, do you remember the book? Because that's not in it.
So wait, so I loved...
Give you an overview? Yeah, sure.
I loved Dr. Seuss, obviously, as any kid did. My favorite book was Wacky Wednesday. Loved Wacky Wednesday. I think I've mentioned that before to you. Like, that book, I think I tore it to shreds from how much I read it. And literally, I know, I was feral. But the whole premise of the book is that, like, you keep seeing these scenes of this very 50s looking American town in that classic Seuss style.
Yeah.
And then as you keep turning through, you realize that more and more things are odd. And so each page becomes full of things that you need to notice.
Getting wackier and wackier.
It gets wackier and wackier and wackier. And it's like, it's really tame shit, like a chimney's upside down and a hose is missing a chunk. Like,
hey. Yeah. That's pretty goofy.
But it's really fun.
It's pretty wacky. God damn it, Michelle.
Did you have a favorite Dr. Seuss book as a kid?
I liked The Cat in the Hat a lot.
Yeah.
I also had The Cat in the Hat 2.
Oh.
You know, back in the habit.
The squeakle.
the squeakle. Cat in the Hat 2, underrated. I really liked Sam I Am.
I haven't read Sam I Am.
Sam. Green Eggs and Ham.
Green Eggs and Ham.
That's the one.
Yes.
He likes I am Sam I am. I like green eggs and ham.
Yes.
Yeah. I would have it on a boat. I would have it with a goat. I like green eggs and ham. And he's like, I do not like green eggs and ham. It's just really about how one guy doesn't like green eggs and ham. And another guy just refusing to explain why the eggs and ham are green.
Yeah, it's a great representation of how not to negotiate with people.
Why you don't negotiate with terrorists.
Why you should just let them jump.
Yeah. I also had a PC point and click little adventure game. I had a lot of
everything's so fucking PC these days.
I had a lot of those before my mum became a graphic designer, and then a little bit afterwards, but just I would only do it at my dad's house. I don't know how they obtained them. You know how Age of Empires 2 was in cereal boxes, but the demo of it. But there was also a lot of loose little games. And one of them that I had was this Dr. Seuss one. You just sort of click around and do these little mini games. A lot of games at that point were actually compilations of smaller games.
Right.
A lot of them were focused on the Sneetches. You remember the Starbelly Sneetches?
No.
It's maybe one of the only, you know how a lot of racism metaphors are what if orcs were black people?
Yeah.
And then you're but you also made them explicitly evil. That's not cool. It actually works in the Sneetches because it's just cosmetic. They just have stars in their bellies. It's totally arbitrary.
Great.
Yeah. It's cool.
You know, everyone in my family were born with stars in their bellies. Are we evil?
No, maybe.
Has
it's
Dr.
called your
Seuss
belly
forsook
button.
us?
It's called your belly button.
And it stinks.
Oh, we're not doing this.
Have I told the viewers how much my belly button stinks?
Oh my God. Every time I tell another person that, they're like, what?
Maybe I won't tell it.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Keep your reputation. Also, in this movie, Alec Baldwin is eating this movie up.
Oh, he's giving
front
it
to back.
200%.
He is.
He is. I just remember him being so funny, watchable, so evil.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good time.
He's having a good time. He's doing good, both as slick and also as slobby. Baldwin, that guy, he knows how to act.
Yeah.
But you know what I really noted on this rewatch?
What?
I really get Dakota Fanning's character, especially in the first act. There's a line she said where they're talking about oh yeah, you I think the mum is you're a princess, and she says in a constitutional monarchy, Parliament has all the real power. And I was
She's
like,
literally,
I've said that.
She's a little Lisa Simpson, you know? And like, I feel like every little girl loved her and resonated with her.
Yeah.
Dakota Fanning, it's odd. Dakota Fanning was such a force as a child actor. And then as an adult actor, she is a bit,
Yeah, but I think she's making a comeback. It's just Elle Fanning's having her own shine.
Yeah.
It's hard to make it in that upper echelon.
I feel like it's tough. I feel like this is the thing with a lot of child actors, though. I think it's hard to move past their career as a child actor. A lot of them struggle.
Yeah.
But she in particular she was known for playing really mature characters. And I think people expected a lot out of her. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was like, fuck this. I actually just want a life.
I think she delivers. It's just, like...
all I've really seen her in as an adult is Twilight. So
that's fair.
But I remember, did you ever watch Uptown Girls with her and Brittany Murphy?
I think we've talked about this movie a lot, but I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, it's probably like the way I talk about Eurotrip all the time, which you have yet to see, by the way, Michelle.
That's not true. We watched it together.
Did we?
Yeah. We talked about it a lot in the first year of this podcast, and then we watched it together, and then we talked about me watching it.
My memory's terrible.
That's okay. That was 2 years ago.
Okay. Well, in Uptown
God.
Girls, that's also a film that I think about a lot. And it's literally, she plays the same kind of character. She's like uptight and too smart, and she has to learn to let go. It's a good film.
I can't believe that there's so many portrayals and real little girls like that, and then doctors turn around and go, autism is a boy thing.
Right?
It's fucking crazy. Because literally in this movie, and I wrote it down, the mum is giving a lot of rules to Conrad, and then she goes, Mummy, can I have some rules? And I just wrote it down because I said, oh my God, me. Please.
She's a great character.
Yeah. It reminds me of the time with friend of the podcast, Gaten Souza, we went to a party, but it was like in the early prep bit. And there was this bit where I was sort of standing loosely. I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing. And then someone was like, oh, Michelle, do you want anything? Or do you want to do? And someone else was trying to ask me. And I was starting to panic a little. And then Gaten could see. And since he knows me, he was like, someone give Michelle a clear instruction. And literally someone was like, Michelle, here, take this and do this. And I was like, yes. And I felt so much better. So much better.
I feel like her and her older brother are just the classic Lisa and Bart stereotypes, right? You've got the chaotic older brother that's a dummy, and then you've got the younger...
ADHD and autism.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. You're both.
Yes.
But yeah, she's a great character.
Yeah.
And also, let's not skate around the man himself, the man of the hour.
Spencer Breslin?
The cat.
No, because
Mike Myers.
No, because I want to say one thing about Spencer Breslin first,
What?
because then the whole rest of the episode could be about the cat.
Okay.
But it's just this. It's literally the same scene as Mummy, can I have some rules, right? Because the mum is being a little stressy because she's caring more about her job than her kids.
They're not.
But also the kids are being a lot. The moral of this movie is that sometimes kids are being a little cunty and they need to learn to chill out, right? There's then a bit where they start arguing, Conrad and the mum in particular.
Yeah.
And then Conrad gets upset and it goes, sometimes I wish I had a different mom. Whoa, harsh, but a thing a kid would say.
Yeah.
And then the mom looks upset and says, sometimes I wish the same thing. That's way worse.
That's so terrible.
Way worse for the mum to say that than for him to... That's irrevocable.
That is horrible.
You're never getting over that.
That is horrible.
Way more horrible.
And it's so out of character for this woman who is so softly spoken and sweet and patient. And even when she's frustrated, she just goes a bit like, oh. So it's just absolutely buck wild. She says so sweetly and softly, I wish the same thing. It's sociopathic.
It is. It's a little sociopathic.
It's very Mummy Dearest, you know? Screaming Joni.
Yeah. But you're right, though. We have to talk about the man or the cat of the hour.
It's just, here's the thing. I think I mentioned I had a whole friendship in year 7. Barely really remember the person, to be fair. I just remembered how much we both enjoyed Cat in the Hat. It was like the first day of year 7 in high school. We had to sit next to someone who had a similar surname. I mean, we're all alphabetically arranged. So I was next to a kid called Connor Williams. And he and I were forced to talk to each other. They were like, turn to the person to your right and chat to them so you can make a friend on your first day. I turned to Connor. We get along like a house on fire. We make a lot of jokes together, and we soon realized that we both love the Cat in the Hat. And we spend all of year 7 just quoting it to each other. And our favorite sequence was the bit where he turns into that chef and he's got the Scottish accent.
The Cupcakeinator.
Yeah.
You know what?
The Cupcakeinator. I'm so excited. And
that's a good little sketch.
That is a great sketch. He cuts off his own tail. There's so many components of it.
Hard cut to like cat covering the ears, and then the other one cutting him off.
Yeah.
And, like, that's funny.
It was genuinely, I just thought it was so...
Berg, you did it again.
Yeah, fantastic. We quoted that all year. We would like yell it down the hallways of like, I'm so excited.
There's also good little camera gags in that. Like specifically, the famous bit of
editing is good.
He goes, like, I'll cut you, I'll make it look like an accent. But every one of those, it goes from like the front on TV shot to a side on, like it's breaking out a TV. Yeah. That's good. That's really good direction.
Smart. Yeah,
that's funny.
100%. I thought it was that genuinely smart and funny, and like I felt like it didn't talk down to kids as much as a lot of kids' films did.
Sure.
Hey.
Sure.
Hey.
When I saw the cameo by Paris Hilton, I was like, this is smart. This is so smart. There's no way it's talking down to kids.
Fuck you, I'm leaving this podcast. I'm fucking out of here. Cut the fucking podcast.
Or there's another bit, the way he ends every joke by going,
okay, well, you're not going to like what I'm going to be rating this film today, Michelle.
I just wish he would signpost the jokes less, like some of them are good. And then
I don't want to hear a fucking lick of criticism, Michelle. This is an excellent film. There's literally
don't say
nothing.
Lick. I'm getting fucking trauma.
There is nothing I would change about this film.
There's nothing you'd change about this film?
Nothing at all.
That's insane. What I want to know. Mm-hmm. What possessed Mike Myers to make the cat just the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz?
What do you mean?
The whole shtick he's doing of the like, it's also like very Snagglepuss, which I feel like also means the cat in this movie is both very queer-coded and also played as definitely Jewish, which is very weird choice for Mike Myers to make of the Cat in the Hat.
Alec Berg, man.
Fucking Berg. Berg didn't do that. That's Mike Myers did that.
Nah, Berg did it. He was like, can you make him more Jewish for me?
Hey, it's me, Alec Berg.
Alec Berg.
Can you make can you make him a bit more Jewish? Yeah. I do think one of my favorite moments that betrays sort of like part of my problems with the movie is when all the things are like trashing the place. They're like, doing shit and not listening, and then the cat's like, oh, did I mention, the things only ever do the opposite. Or, I mean, the way he plays it is like, the things only ever do the opposite. And then Conrad, because he never listens to rules, yells out, opposite? That's so annoying. Why do they always just do the opposite? In the background, Dakota Fanning is like running to like chase, and there's like music and stuff. And as soon as he finishes that line, she's like next to him and then stops dead in her tracks. The music shifts to like this tinkly little piano movement, and she looks over and she's like, remind you of anyone? And then the scene just resumes. Unhinged
I
moment.
wouldn't change a thing. Conrad needed to learn that lesson, and he learned it just when he needed to. It's excellent structure.
It's inorganic. It's cynical, all right?
It's inorganic?
It makes me weep for human emotion, all right? It's just the same way that this movie concludes with this fucking like cleaning montage set to a cover of Getting Better by Smash Mouth, all right? I weep for what counts as catharsis in this fucking society.
If you say one more negative thing about this film, I'm walking out. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Well, I'm
Michelle,
about to.
No.
Because you know what? They walk in the house at the end.
No, don't do it.
And they go, oh my God, it's the mother of all messes. That's so crazy to describe a dimensional rift as a mess.
Okay, I'm out. I'm not recording until you say nice things about Cat in the Hat.
Why don't you say a nice thing about the Cat in the Hat?
It's so funny.
Come on, you gotta give me more juice than that.
It's so funny when I was 11.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Therefore,
funny.
I'm dedicated to it. I have a connection.
Abby, I didn't throw a fucking tanty when we did Urban Legends 2,
well,
all right?
You're not me. All right? I'm more insufferable.
Now that's... you think I'm less insufferable?
Yes, I do. Say you're sorry, though.
I'm sorry.
But say it with meaning.
No.
Oh, well, okay. I'll still accept it.
Okay, cool.
Because we're contractually obliged to finish this fucking podcast.
If I said sorry with meaning, the problem would be that it wouldn't be true.
Your mama is not your mama.
What?
Just finishing that.
That's crazy, because I also look so much like my mum.
Yeah, but she's not.
Damn.
Your mum is not.
It's just a coincidence.
Your mum is not.
Oh, she's not?
Nah.
What?
Nope.
Oh, no.
Feel that burn.
Maybe my mom's nut. Do you want to hear some trivia?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, before I do trivia, I do want to say one last thing. This movie ends, Alec Baldwin falls into the dimensional rift, which again is described as a mess. I guess in the way you would describe the outdoors as a mess. That's crazy. Like in D&D, going to the Feywilds and going, what a mess. Insane. But he gets squirted at the tap, which I don't know why their house drains to a loose tap out the side of the house.
My house drains to a loose tap outside the house.
Okay.
Like my entire house or just the water in the house?
I don't know how their fucking plumbing works. He comes out a fucking loose pipe in the side of the house.
That's right, he does.
Yeah. Anyway, he comes back later. He's covered in purple goo. Joan loves him. He has been a slick, put together guy.
Yeah.
Until earlier today, he showed up fucking frantic and frazzled, babbling about stuff. Now he shows up covered in purple goo, yelling about like paper walls and a giant cat. He's having a full-on, to her, psychotic episode.
Yeah.
And her reaction is basically, ew, gross, get out.
Yeah, you're dumped.
She should say, let's take you to a hospital.
Hey, I know this isn't you. We've been together for months.
Yeah.
You've never acted like this. What's wrong?
Let's take you to a doctor. You're not okay.
She's a fucking bitch.
That's awful.
Yeah, although let's just be careful here because it's Kelly Preston and she's dead. So let's just tread carefully.
I didn't say Kelly Preston was awful. I said Joan Walden.
I'm just saying,
she's a bad mother and a worse woman.
Don't say another fucking word, Michelle.
It's not about Kelly Preston. Do you want to hear some trivia?
Yes.
IMDb trivia.
Okay, so I have a handful of pieces of trivia. Some of them are a little longer. Tim Allen was actually originally considered for the role of the cat.
Of course he was.
The script was originally based on a version of the book story conceived by Allen, who admitted that as a child he was afraid of Seuss's, and this is a quote, mischievous feline babysitter, and it was his dream to give the edge that scared him as a kid for the role.
He's like a cat in a hat that smokes and
I guess.
drinks and...
However, the studio, I just can't imagine Tim Allen in the cat
giving
outfit.
Giving it an edge. What does he mean by
I
that?
have no idea.
Hey, kids.
Tim Allen doing anything close to this performance.
Also, Tim Allen ever giving anything an edge? Like, I know he fucking peddled cocaine in the 80s, but that man on screen, no edge.
Yeah, no edge.
But a great guy to chat to.
He's a fucking sphere. He's got no edge. There's a punch up there. You get where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So I should really pre-write these.
Let's start scripting these episodes.
I think we'd be way more successful if we scripted these episodes. However, the studio did not commission a screenplay until late February 2001, which is when Berg, Mandel, and Schaefer came on board and were hired, replacing the original draft. And so Tim Allen was busy shooting The Santa Claus 2, which is also delayed because Allen wanted a screenwrite on that. That's when Mike Myers joined. He also joined, I have this less written specifically, he also joined because he was actually meant to make a different movie, like a Sprunkers or Sprinkers or something. Sprockets.
Sprinkers.
And basically like kept not turning in scripts and then got sued for like $20 million. So he he got sued for $10 million and then he countersued for like $20 million. And instead, they just came to an agreement of like, okay, you're not going to do Sprockets, but you have to do a different movie. And it was The Cat in the Hat.
Right.
So he's kind of like legally forced to make this movie.
So he like wasn't able to turn in scripts. Was he like just procrastinating, like banging his head against a wall?
Something was going fucking on with him because as well, according to Mike Myers, less than a month before the film was released, the producers made plans. Oh, that's different. But there is more Mike Myers. Made plans for a sequel based on the book sequel, The Cat in the Hat Comes Back. However... Audrey Geisel, Dr. Seuss's widow, was so appalled by this movie that she decided to reject any future live-action adaptation of her late husband's work. The sequel was eventually cancelled. And you may notice there's not been a single live-action Dr. Seuss movie.
That's so true. Oh my God.
Because they are forbidden.
Because of this film.
Because of this movie.
Because it was so good.
Yeah. She was like, this is too powerful, what we've harnessed here.
Yeah, it was too funny.
Now, this one is more about Mike Myers' behavior. According to cast and crew, working with Mike Myers on this film was a horrible, nightmarish experience. Actors would wait hours for Myers to come out of makeup. He only spoke to his handlers and director Bo Welch during downtime on set. He had his handlers dress his trailer, and his area was all well covered with tenting because he didn't want anybody seeing him. He also had a male assistant whose sole job was to feed him chocolates from a Tupperware container. And the film ended up having long and pointless additional takes of scenes because he overruled Welch on whether they were good enough or not. So he would do an, oh yeah, and then be like, I'm going to do it again, sorry.
Oh yeah! Wait, hang on, I need to go back. Chocolates out of a Tupperware container?
Yeah, so not in the packet.
They're transporting them into a Tupperware container. What kind of chocolates?
I assume that was part of the handler's job. It does not say. It just says chocolates.
I spend 3 hours of my day unpackaging chocolates.
To put them into separate Tupperware containers.
He's very particular about the order of his containers.
And then I feed him the chocolates.
I've got arthritis.
When he's
from the movement.
When he's in the cat suit. Oh my god, this is maybe this is where Alec Berg got the inspiration for what's his fucking name? Mr. Bag Boy in Veep.
Bag Boy?
The bag, he holds the bag, and he's also Buster in Arrested Development.
Oh, Tony Hale.
Tony Hale. Yeah, Tony Hale's character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you initially saying?
Maybe this is where... Okay, wait. Maybe this is where we got the inspo for Tony Hale's character in Veep.
Maybe. Yeah.
Fucking... Bird's back, baby.
What is with these incredibly funny men being absolute nightmares? Like, it reminds me of the way that Will Ferrell refuses to talk to people on set. He has a clause in his contract, which means he doesn't have to interact with people on set. Apparently, during the Blades of Glory filming, John Heder was really excited to work with him, and he had a clause that when he didn't have to talk to him. So he would go up and chat to Will Ferrell, and this guy would come out being like, please don't speak to him.
You know what I hate most about it?
What?
I get I don't want to keep chatting to people, especially because if you're a big time celebrity, then like people would probably come up to you all the time and want to talk. Just use your fucking words. Say, also, I'm busy right now. Sorry, I don't really want to chat.
And also,
use your fucking words like a person.
I understand that in day-to-day life. When you're on set, you're at work.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, like, you don't get to do that shit, though. You don't get to put up tents and be like, I don't want to talk to Dakota Fanning.
But that's what I mean. Like, if I'm at work, I am allowed, if someone just wants to chat, go like, oh, sorry, I'm really busy. I don't really want to talk.
Yeah. But this sounds like he wasn't really busy. No. He was sitting around his fucking trailer.
No, exactly. That's yeah. It's
I just
crazy.
like the idea of like completely it's like you come to the office and you put up your own fucking like walls around you. I make a cubicle. Yeah, you make a cubicle around you. It's strange and rude and aggressive.
Maybe I should make a cubicle at home.
I just feel bad. Can you imagine like the kids were probably excited to meet him and then he was just like, no. Unless you've got chocolate in a Tupperware container, get the fuck out.
Spencer, Dakota, if you say one more word to me, I'll snap your little neck like a twig.
Here's a Lindt chocolate out of a Tupperware box.
Oh! Thank you.
Get the fuck out!
Oh my god, Mike, that sounded so crunchy. What the fuck? Here's another piece of trivia. The soundtrack also features a song by Smash Mouth, a cover of Getting Better, which makes it the third Mike Myers starring film in a row to feature a song by Smash Mouth after Shrek and Austin Powers in Goldmember.
I was about to say Mike Myers and Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram is a circle.
And I got one here that I have dubbed a weirdly written goof.
Okay.
In the original Cat in the Hat, after the children and cat had fun, the house was cluttered and there were stains all over the place. The clean machine cleaned and straightened everything up before Mum got home. In this movie, the house was destroyed beyond repair. The amount of destruction was beyond the capability of the clean machine. The house would need to be torn down if it did not fall down on its own. Which... Look, in some ways I get it because that house has structural flaws and they fucking spackle over it.
Yeah. I feel like there's a need to suspend disbelief in this film.
When I was watching it as a kid, I certainly wasn't like the structural integrity of the home when I saw the giant talking cat with a dimensional rift in his crate.
The two non-human things spinning out of nothing.
What species are they? Nothing. They're a thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear some reviews?
I do.
Hell yeah.
Reviews!
So this is 10% on Rotten Tomatoes and 3.8 on IMDb.
They just didn't get it.
They just didn't get it. You know who also didn't get it?
Who?
Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. said, all effects and stunts and CGI prosthetics with no room for lightness and joy.
He doesn't know what joy is.
And he gave it 2 thumbs down, along with Richard Roper. And Roper said, of Maya's performance specifically, that maybe a part of him was realizing as the movie was being made that a live-action version of The Cat in the Hat just wasn't a great idea.
Hey, everyone's got their own opinion, I guess.
One of the things that's interesting about the IMDb reviews, this might be surprisingly high, or actually, let me check. Yeah, this is actually 4.0 now. I noticed there was so many reviews from 2021 in particular.
What happened?
I feel like this, but a lot of them were like 10 out of 10s that were semi-sarcastic, being like, this saved my life. You know, I feel like this became like a minor meme at some point. We missed it.
Why?
I don't know. Here's one, though. I tried to specifically find reviews that were actually from the early 2000s so that they weren't just like meme sort of reviews. They were genuine people who loved the movie.
Okay.
Here's the first one, titled, "Love It! I am amazed by this film," by Rhys Davies, 1997. I don't know why people are critical about this film, but I get why. Killer line. "The story is amazing, and so are the actors. Mike Myers put in his best performance to date, and I love it. So does my 2-year-old daughter, who shall not be named, you perverts."
Whoa, what the fuck?
Anyway, I just have to say a big thank you to Josh for introducing me to this spectacle. If I ever saw this film on a shelf, this guy, by the way, has no other reviews. If I ever saw this film on a shelf, I would buy it if it was under £3. Oh, sorry, £3. I would even choose it over Avatar, The Hunger Games, and Game of Thrones, but not The Walking Dead. That is amazing. I love the bit when Rick is looking for Sophia and his son gets shot and other stuff happens, and then they find Sophia in the barn and Rick shoots her. 10 out of 10. Spoilers for season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Also, he chooses The Cat in the Hat over 8 full seasons of HBO TV and Game of Thrones.
But only if it's under £3.
Only if it's... The metrics that this man operates within are crazy.
I'm not going to name my daughter. No. Thanks, Josh.
You perverts.
Pervert.
And then goes to list a whole scene of The Walking Dead.
No, that is 5 scenes.
That is a very good scene of The Walking Dead.
Oh, it's a great scene. It's a great scene.
Well, he gets it. Finally, someone that's talking some sense.
Yeah, that's what we need in this country. All right, here's another review. This one's a little longer, I'll warn you. Titled, "See It Once, You'll Hate It. See It 5 times, You Love It," by G.
See it once.
52.
Shame on me.
See it 5 times. Shame on you. Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying you.
Yeah.
Because you saw it 5 times.
I saw it more than 5 times.
Me too.
Yeah.
When I first saw this movie several years ago, I hated it.
What?
Like everyone else, I was expecting Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat. I was completely disappointed. This movie was too strange, too weird, and wacky. 6 months later, I saw it again, and something strange happened. By the way, this guy uses a lot of semicolons. I began to see things in it that I liked. I liked the cat. I liked the kids. I liked Larry. The rest is history. Now it is one of my favorite movies. If you go into this movie expecting Seuss's The Cat in the Hat, you'll be sorely disappointed. God, there are just so many semicolons.
It's like he just discovered the key on his keyboard. Yeah. He was like, what does this do?
As you can verify by the movie's reviews. However, as the cat says, give it some time, then watch it again. And again, and again. Now we laugh and copy the cat. Many of his lines have become our household phrases, such as, "I'm so excited!"
Yes!
And
yes! Yes! It's the best line!
And anything,
yes!
anything.
This guy gets it.
The trouble with a movie review is that usually people write them after their first time seeing a movie. So only your first impression is taken.
True.
What if after seeing a movie 5 times, you find that you really do like
True.
it? But the
Roger Ebert could take a lot from this guy.
But what if that you really do like it, but the review you wrote after seeing it once labeled it horrible? As a result, despite the reviews, I predict video sales for this movie will soar, and nearly every kid on the block will have his or her own copy. Bravo to Mike Myers, the rest of the cast, the writers and producers. This movie is way up on my list. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I just love I like the cat.
I like the cat. I like the kids.
I like Larry.
I like Larry. It sounds like he's
declaring love in like a 90s
he's like
rom-com.
proposing, yeah.
Like he's in the rain out the front of someone's house.
Look,
I like Larry.
I like the cat. I like Larry. I like the kids.
The rest is history. Here is my final review. Great movie, great special effects by Savage FP.
True.
I had read the New York Times review trashing this movie, so of course I had to see it. Usually, although not always, a trashing by the Times means it's probably going to be good. And then in brackets, the paper is so out of touch. I took my 8-year-old daughter to see it to get at least one opinion from a segment of the target audience. She loved it! What more is there to say? I thought the movie was quirky and often very funny. Certainly worth the $9 I paid, but the fact that my daughter loved it made the whole evening worthwhile.
Aww,
10 out of 10.
That's wholesome.
The New York Times.
His daughter gets it.
The New York Times hated it, but this 8-year-old loved it.
You know who that 8-year-old was? It was me.
Wow.
That was my pappy.
That's your papa?
He hates the New York Times.
Hates the
it.
New York Times.
They're so out of touch.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Times. What are you trying to say about me and my business? What are you trying to say about me and my dad?
Every episode we do some really terrible New Yorker accent.
Yeah, I've been on a real tear with it recently. It's really fun to do. I could do a lot of other voices, but that one's fun and easy.
Yeah. No.
But that was these just fucking random people on IMDb. What was your review?
10 out of 10.
Oh my god.
What's your review?
I can't believe you did
10
this.
out of 10.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Yeah, I don't care. 10 out of 10, bitch.
I'm going to get some
10 out of
fucking
10.
email from MR or Luke Anton, and it's going to absolutely destroy some statistic and metric.
Someone's got to stick up for good quality family cinema.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to join you in 10 out of 10. I think I'm probably going to give it maybe a 6.
You think you're so intellectual. Just because you
5.5.
can't handle the cat in the hat. So this gets lower than you got served.
5.
Oh, go back. Go back. Go back up.
6. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'm so excited.
This won't even be the only episode where it's just counting. Yeah, no, I do. I think it's a 6. Like, because it's got some bits that work. It's got some funny...
Twisted your arm.
It's got some funny gags. It's got some funny scenes. But, like, it fucking falls apart as a movie. And it's a little annoying.
So much more than I'd ever watch A Good Year, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm rating it higher than A Good Year.
Yeah.
It kind of falls apart in like, Act 2B in particular.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
And the third act is just fucking gibberish. Also, a lot lot of weird jokes about Taiwanese people for kids. Okay. That's just what we thought. But you know where else we have thoughts? Social media. We're on Twitter at RateDescendPod. We're on TikTok at RatingDescending. Or you can email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com. I love the emails. Also, hopefully by this point, but if not, it'll be coming soon. Us on YouTube and Instagram. Coming soon to those platforms.
That was so good, Michelle.
Thank you.
You can also find us on our personal social medias. You can find me on Instagram under Abigail J. Ward. Sorry, I think I'm having a stroke. I'm on Instagram.
Abigail on Incargram. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at michelle.stclair.
And please, God, pretty please, drop us a review wherever you listen to your podcast, because one review could feed a family of 4 Michelles. So they need it.
Please, I need a little.
What's that?
I need a little.
What's that?
Dinner.
That's fun.
Oh, please. Well, you said to start doing the fucking New York voice.
I don't want that one.
Hey, come on, baby girl.
So, like, is it racist?
Well, I'm trying to do the closest I can to Barry White. I can't go that low. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
It really makes a difference.
Ah. Well, that was the Cat in the Hat. Abby, what are we watching next week?
Michelle, next week we'll be watching Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Have you seen Blair Witch 1?
No.
Oh, actually it wasn't that bad.
No, I heard it's good. I heard it's very
Yeah.
scary. That's
It
why I
is
didn't watch it. I don't want to be scared.
Oh, my
I spent so
baby.
much of my life scared.
Michelle!
I want to be less
You
scared.
can't break people's hearts right as we're about to finish.
I'm sorry.
We've got to end on an up note.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Nah, that's not it. That's not it. That's not an up note.
What's up now?
I'm so excited!
I'm so excited! Yeah, there we go. I wish we were doing the Cat in the Hat 2, Book of Shadows.